What's popular, YouTube? Another day, another demo. Here we are, back with
Automatic. Timothy 2 Titty Tatas. Let's go.
EG debut, back in the game. He took a year off of Counter-Strike. He was on Gen.g and missed the entirety of 2021. Bro, he came back, and they're like, yo, you heard about this team called Gambit? And he's like,
Yeah, the one with the Dren and Doja.
no, man. Not that Gambit. Like, they were Gambit youngsters. He's like,
Gambit Youngsters? What's that? Academy teams? Never heard of that.
he hasn't seen any of this, dude. He doesn't know. But he came into the server and played like he's been playing all year, all last year. You know, look good, look comfortable. So we're here to watch him play Overpass versus Big, the one map that NA won at the Blast Showdown. And he showed us some spectacular T-side entries. And I don't do much analysis this game, actually. Very little, actually, compared to other games. Mostly storylines and stuff like that. So, a little different. You don't like to change it up. Enjoy the match. 2022 sucks. But what if you could make $2,000.22? SellYourSkins.com. It's all in the title. You sell your skins to cash out of those lovely works of art in your inventory with some of the lowest fees on the market, so you can finally put a dent in those pesky student loans. It's super easy with a variety of payment methods, including cash, crypto, credit card, etc. And if you use my code LAO, you get a welcome bonus. Thank you, Sell Your Skins, for sponsoring this video and making my content possible. Link in the description below. Back to the video. Good morning, everybody, and welcome in for another demo. We're here to watch Automatic Timothy 2 Titty Tatas play Overpass T-side with all the skins. Where'd this boy get all his skins, man? He just got back. I think he was sitting in his inventory the whole time. Automatic's playing on native. I didn't have to switch over from Magisk. I actually like this. Look how cute the Glock looks on this view model and stuff. Maybe I should use this, actually. This looks very clean. Tim's a very cerebral man. He thinks about everything. Stewie said in the interview, kind of threw a little shade at Nitro. It was a little banter, a little shade. I don't know. It was kind of funny, but he was just like, I don't even think Banks asked him this question. But he was just like, I think Automatic coming back from VALORANT is better than Nitro. Because he just said something positive about Automatic. He didn't say anything bad about Nitro, but I just thought that was funny. But he just said Automatic's the kind of guy, he works really hard, and when he needs to learn something or do something new, he's gonna put 100% into it. Which again, I'm sure that's true also for Nick. You know what I'm saying? But he said it specifically about Automatic. And you know, my little anecdotal experience with Automatic is that I was a little bit surprised one time. He's asked me a few times actually about some movement questions, learning KZ, and he's opping, and he was talking about, you know, improving a KZ and all this stuff, and I was like, Tim, why are you putting all this effort into learning how to KZ? Like, your movement is obviously there's nothing wrong with your movement, you know. Why is this a focus for you now? And he's like, he said he thinks if a player like Faker from League of Legends, the GOAT, was going to play CSGO, he said if Faker came over to CSGO, he would try to be the best at every aspect of the game. And that's why he was trying to focus down his movement. He was opping on Gen.g at the time, and he felt like that was the area he needed to focus in on the most. I thought that was pretty fascinating, that he was very cognizant of every little facet of his game. I mean, you can get all range of players, and I won't say that any of them are invalid. I've talked to so many different players with so many different philosophies. Everything from, you know, the Nafly of I like to show up, I like to be happy, whatever makes you comfortable, come into the server, play a little CS, aim for the stomach, guarantee the kill, you know, type vibe, all the way to the Kerrigan, all these little details, the emotional aspects of the game, how to be an IGL, pretty complicated strats and hands-on calling. And then to the Zywus of the world, or the symbols of the world, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. You know, they just do because they're so gifted. They can't even understand why people are so bad. But there is some interesting correlation between, you know, some of the GOATs in all the different games and sports and stuff, and this idea that some of them are not actually great teachers because some of the hardest parts of the game come so easily to them that they never had to consciously learn it. So when it comes to explaining how to do those things to other people, it's not really anything they've ever had to toil for themselves mentally. So it actually kind of goes over their head, and people ask them a question and go, why are you asking such a stupid question, you know? You just do that. Why wouldn't you do that? But that doesn't mean that all players who are incredibly gifted have that either. Some are very cerebral. I think about Alige, right? A lot of people call him the best North American player. And he thinks about every little detail. And he's very flowchart oriented. He's very much about preparedness and studying and mapping things out, pre-planning reactions, right? There is a pro player named Rafa in Quake who is also like this, and he's more just the GOAT of Quake. And he is one of the most beautiful minds in the sense that not only is he just the best at playing a game that is incredibly fast-paced, that it requires the highest level of fluid reasoning, aim, and all the jockey attributes that make you a good FPS player, but he also is amazing at showing people and explaining people how to do the things that he does and why he does them, the timings, and he has the gift of gab on top of it. So the spectrum is all over the place. But all that's to say is that's more of who Tim is as a player, autimatic. Tim. He took a whole year off. He went over from Gen.g VALORANT. Sorry. Gen.g Counter-Strike. He was playing with Somathan and all these other guys, whoever it was. I think he was too loyal, man. I think he was too loyal. He was the last of the Cloud9 guys. He got onto Gen.g. He really just went down with that ship. And things went so ugly near the end of Gen.g, where the NA was at its worst point. Gen.g were one of the last teams holding it together. And then there was just like nowhere else to go. But all the while you're watching Tim and you're like, man, I wish you just jumped ship earlier, or just went somewhere else, or, you know. And I just feel like he was too loyal. But he went over to Valorant, played from November 2020 to right now. This is the debut here on EG in CSGO. So he's missed just over an entire year of Counter-Strike. And we get to watch this. This is the last thing I expected, okay? I expected autimatic could have a great debut, have a great map here or there. I didn't expect EG to perform extra well, so look at these shots. I didn't expect EG to perform super well overall. I did pick every NA team to win in my blast predictions, so I really died on my sword here for NA. I nearly had... I've never had so few predictions correct because the only map that NA won was this one of the 3 teams at the blast groups, but I'm going to say it. This is huge copium, but I thought EG were pretty good. I actually thought their T sides were pretty good, but this is the last thing I expected for autimatic to have his best half of the event on T side. On T side overpass, that for me it's just so random that this would be the map. And then it was You know, I'd be less surprised if it was like Mirage, where you probably pugged a ton and then also played a lot and then, you know, whatever. Overpass, this one caught me off guard. And the fact that it's T-side, it's harder to, you know, play well on T-sides. And he owned big this T-side, so I'm here to watch this back. I was casting this match. We just saw just mind-numbingly fast entries. Okay, that was really cool. I wonder how it feels to be back. I will say, though, Nitro did have a really... of all of the debuts, Nitro's was the worst. Nitro, Shocks... It doesn't matter too much. It's just the debut. But just to say that, you know, it wasn't... they were definitely struggling the most to be comfortable. So... I personally was okay with everybody not playing well, you know, especially the guys like Rush and Tim who took some time off. And Tim a whole year off. But it's like they never left. I think you should have got that kill. Timothy! We're going to watch for every nade. I also thought that that would be the most overwhelming part about coming back. I haven't asked. I also wanted to ask, also, I think he's on 16.9. I saw in the pro settings comments that he's playing on native. So that's why he's the GOAT. But I saw that someone in the comments is like, you could see it. You could see it on the cameras. You could see it on Rush's camera. Timothy was on 16.9. And on pro settings, it says he's on 11.52. But I think he's now playing on the Magis, Rops, Yakinder, Launders, Res. You know what I'm saying? Let's go, remembering all the line. I always thought that the lineup... Look at that, man. All the flash assists. Oh, my God. Perfectly placed flashes. That nade set. He just flashed twice and smoked heaven. I think that was smoke heaven. I just missed it. Dude. Even outside of the kills, it's just pure impact. Wow. And a lot of the work he was doing to win this T-half and allow his team to win this map. A lot of the entries, so... You know who I bet he watched? Actually, no. He would have missed all of Gambit. Oh, who do you guys think in the comments below? Another thing interesting that I learned from Tim was that he says that he loved to watch in-game leaders demos because he said that he felt like because their aim wasn't as good, they always had to come up with trickier ways to play, you know? But I can't think of any in-game leaders that lurk B on defaults. And I can't think of who it would be. I want to say he watched... I want to believe he watched Exile. Because I think he was the guy to learn from last year in terms of be lurking on Overpass. But I have no idea who he would have watched to catch up on this spot specifically. Let me know who you guys think in the comments down below. So yeah, I don't think there was maybe a couple of rounds where that EG ran into time trouble, but most of the time I felt like they were making the site decisions by 30 seconds. They didn't end up running into a spot where they didn't draw out enough utility, and that they were able to make convincing things happen and take all the map control they needed to. Honestly, just thought their T-sides were pretty good. Wow, hand over face. Wow, look at this guy go. My gosh. The reactions are there. You know, Tim has a peak. We saw at the Boston Major, Tim was the second highest rated player behind Tarek just by 0.2 rating. I think he had the best KD. Oh! Wow. Wow, if Searson had an op, it wouldn't have mattered. I'm gonna just put it that way. The confidence was crazy this game. This is not just a debut. It was genuinely one of the best maps one of the best halves that we saw from a player at the Blast group. So it was very promising. I think ultimately being realistic. Well, maybe not. You know what? If Rush and autimatic can do what they did at the groups, I mean, they're in a great place. The thing is that Breeze and Cirque were talked about by Stewie in the interview, how he has to try to make them a bit more comfortable so they can get used to stuff. But yeah, Breeze, I was pretty surprised. You know, he was playing like long on Dust 2. Their Dust 2 CT side, A side specifically, was really discombobulated. They were having a lot of trouble. Breeze is having trouble just holding long, just playing spots by himself. So I think that'll change. I really think Breeze is a mega talent. Tim's also made top 20, actually. He was top 17 in 2018, I believe. Top 17, I believe. So, yeah. And you know Stu loves him. You know Stu loves him. Okay. Stewie won long time ago. Probably a lot of people don't know this one. Back when he got, Stewie was the reason autimatic got onto Cloud9. He like picked him out. He was on Nylum, I think, and Stewie really wanted to play with him. Or TSM, he was playing with Twists, and Stewie really wanted to play with him, and he just said, Stewie like talent scouted him. I was very impressed with Stewie for this, because autimatic was, you know, kind of at most an underrated, under-talked about player, but wasn't exactly on everyone's like, oh, he's going to be the guy who helps, you know, Cloud9 break through. Wow, okay. I mean, a great display of mechanics right now. And composure. Those nades for the headshot barrels. You know, it can be really hard to focus on your crosshair when you join a new team. I think that's a big thing. And another reason I didn't want to get too excited about people debuting, because what's really hard is 4 new people talking to you, plus all the nades that you have to learn, a new system with an IGL, and yeah, he's played with Stewie before, but a lot has changed for Stewie. Stewie's now played, you know, done collaborative calling with Fallen, played on a very messy Liquid. Yeah, it's been a lot. You know, Stewie's gone through a lot since the last time he's played with Tim, so he's not really the same guy anymore. So learning, you know, all the new stuff that Stu has learned, it can be really hard just to go back to, like, even if you feel really good about aiming. Ooh, wow, these shots are actually. I need a bigger laptop screen. I'm getting too excited about these kills. Like, I could barely. What, dude? I could barely see. I actually need glasses. Oh, this is not a good. This is a very bad round by Cirque. This was so close. This is so close, dude. Cirque was missing some easy ones. Breeze looked uncomfortable. It's not good. That needs to improve. At least we know that should be a lot better. That should be a lot better. There was. When you talk about comfort and stuff, I mean, you know, he's in the clutch. When you're in the clutch, that's when you see sometimes, like, think about the ZTR. Think about ZTR and LNZ when they came onto NIP. Their stats were absolutely horrendous, right? But when they played 1vx's, you could see their full potential as a player. They made some really good moves, and they were able, because they didn't have to think about anything else. All the stuff I just talked about, they didn't have to think about nades, communication, their teammates being alive, the T sides, how to scale, a new system. They didn't have to think about any of that. In the clutch, you can be your true pugger, you know? Or you can be the very best version of yourself. And so, you know, when I see this position where Cirque was in the clutch and he looked off, or Breeze is playing long by himself, he looked off, I wonder how much Stewie can even do about that. I feel like they have to have some personal accountability in that regard when it comes to just playing your spot really well, apart from, you know, can someone support you better, playing a clutch, you know? So I'm sure they're disappointed in themselves, but it's only a debut. It's only a debut. So it's good to have measured expectations. Cirque is actually a guy who I think has really good ideas in clutch rounds. And then sometimes I feel like he overthinks them. And I've seen him get so close to winning like a really nuts 1v3 or a really nuts 1v4. And then he like overthinks an idea that could be simpler, or he holds an angle too long, expecting someone to make a mistake. But yeah, you know, I watch fewer rounds than Cirque watches himself, so I might have watched some of the wrong ones, but that's how I feel. I believe I just did another B Defender demo as well. I can't remember who it was. Who did I just upload? Nexa? Oh yeah, it was Rops. I watched Rops play both halves of Overpass. It was the great CT side followed by the Larkin B T side. I was thinking maybe Rops was the demo that Audi watched. Really great to see evil geniuses taking this team extremely seriously. I'm gonna mess up his name. Danny Engels, I believe it was, coming on to help out with that on that front. I should really know this before. Oh, look at these entries, man. You know how hard it is to kill Searson back dice? Some people can't do it. They can try all half and they won't be able to do it. Searson back dice is an absolute institution. You most of the time you can't touch Searson back dice. My God, there's no way he's still on the right side. Yeah, okay. It's making so much noise there. Oh yeah, this is where Tim just ran through. Dude, this is where I was like, this is too much, Tim. It's only been headshots, and on his screen, he's not like running through his smoke. He's running, and the smoke is trying to go through him. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the same as like just fucking idiot, dude. Why do you push the smoke on the when I watched it on the stream? I was like, no way he just did that. But in the demo, it's just clearly like the smoke is pluming right as he's coming up. But he made the decision before the smoke. Oh! Rush was going crazy too. But the confidence was... It was remarkable. This was the debut of all time. By far. And I just want to say I love the view model. I can't do right hand 0. I didn't know. I used right hand 0.6, but I just can't. Okay, double push. Taken down. See how they go. I think their continuation flashes or late flashes were very, very good. Let's see if they recover this spot. Final boss keto back dice. Look at that flash by Cirque. Actually game winning right there. The continuation flashes were extraordinary. So impressive. So every round, for the most part, he's mollying short and then spamming. See here, waiting, just disarming them a little bit with the pause, making it feel like something else. And I think I talked about in the Rops demo, so I don't want to reiterate too much, but I didn't do a lot of analysis today in this one, but playing the B defaults is all about subtleties. You don't have to do much for people to think that there are multiple here, or that you're B execing fully after a bit. There's not a lot that the CTs can do in the way of counterplay to figure out how many people are out here. Your main job on this side of the map as the B lurker is to be here, is to throw different timings for spams, throw different combinations of nades, sometimes throw a nose HE just for the cross, sometimes spam the cross outside monster. Don't do one thing every single round, because then your opponents will just avoid it on the timing every single round. Change it up, be subtle, but be there. Okay, you want to put some kind of presence pretty much all the time. Even though information is information, of course. But, look at these flashes, man. These flashes were actually... If they win this round, it's going to be just like the Cirque round just because of these flashes. I think Rush is going to do it to him, too. He's going to do it to him. Rush was going crazy. His arms, his muscles, his veins had muscles. His arms had veins, had muscles. Oh my god, he's so vascular right now. This is funny. This took way too long, and he almost died, and he could have just hid. But this is the perfect place to end this demo, because he's standing on the top of dice, and he didn't have to be. And the confidence was there. He believed he'd win the duel. He stood up there, and he was almost wrong. And if Tizian was like 3% better, this would have been a terrible way to lose a round. But we didn't see that version of reality. And we see that Tim believed. And he's feeling good. And he's here. And he's comfortable. And he wants this. And that's why NA is going to the moon. Right there. Look like he's already played with his team for a long time. Being comfortable on T-side is really difficult. Being comfortable with a new team is really difficult. Being comfortable after taking a long break is very difficult. And although he was competing in something, it wasn't CS for the past year, so it can be kind of intimidating, I think, to come back. And it didn't look like he was intimidated, so that's a really great sign. I messaged him after the game. I said, "You're back," and he said, "Not yet." So we have more to see from EG, and we'll keep following them. But for now, honestly, they're the only any team to win a map. They won it versus Big. This was the map. And they came close, and they made some games competitive where they were almost completely lost positions. And I know it's huge copium, and if I wasn't from NA, I wouldn't have even called it close. But at the same time, I genuinely believe that their T-sides were actually pretty good. And as a caster, when I was watching, I wasn't just horrified like when I watched Big play T-side nuke, you know, versus FaZe. Like, genuinely EG had some good calling, and people were following things. I think the real struggles were still a little bit on the individual level. It showed a lot with Cirque and Breeze in particular. Of course, the team as a whole, there's, you know, consistency across the maps is not something we can expect right now. But yeah, really good. Really good. Maybe even better than I thought for the debut for EG. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that one. And as always, let me know who you want to do next in the comments. Now, I've done like a bunch. I'm actually not sure who's next right now, but there's got to be a few more debuts, and then we'll move into Cato, which would be great. But until then, be safe.
Big dog shit, got my paws all dirty. Looking for a plate, that's why the dogs up early. With it white big, eat it like a McFlurry. I ain't got time to chill, I'm in a hurry. P the game, I got it for my daddy ho. Smoking dope, but saying raps out on the patio. My boss said you ain't putting